Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
Hello, Namaskar. You're watching BT TV. I'm Tanya Aneja and this is Market Today, a show where we'll get you all the latest market updates, stocks and sectors that are buzzing in and much more. Well, what a massive recovery we have seen. Remember, we started on a weaker note. We started in the red, but right now Nifty is in the green. Accenture there itself for Nifty, 22,112. Remember, we have reclaimed that 22,000 mark today. We opened below that 22,000 mark, but right now 22,112, that's the level on Nifty. What a smart recovery, I must say. And let's see which all stocks are supporting the markets at this point in time. It's the auto day today. It's the top performing sector as well, and Hero MotoCorp, that's the top gainer for you from today's trading session. 3.8% uptick there, 4694, that's the level on this counter. And apart from Hero MotoCorp, we have Maruti Suzuki as well. Remember, the stock crossed 12,000 odd level, record high yesterday as well, and a fresh record high for this particular stock today as well, 12,338. That's the level where we are at, 4% uptick there on this counter as well. UPL, Apollo Hospitals, Sun Pharma. Remember, we have been discussing pharma stocks as well. So pharma is also the flavor of today's trading session. A lot of pharma stocks doing pretty well in today's session. And on the flip side, if you see IT pack, the pain is there in that particular sector. LTI Mindtree for you, the top loser, 3% downtick there. We have Infy as well, we have Wipro, we have HCL Tech, TCS. Remember, this is after Accenture's has revised its revenue forecast, and it has downgraded the revenue forecast, and that's why the negative impact on all these IT counters. And we will discuss that what should be the strategy now for the investors who want to invest in the IT stocks. But let's do one thing. Let's welcome our guest on the show today. Today we have with us Mr. Prashant Tapse, who is the research analyst, senior VP at Mehta Equities. Prashant, very good afternoon to you. Always good to have you on BT TV. Let me start by asking you first about your market outlook. I mean, we have reclaimed that 22,000 odd level mark on Nifty, but now the question is that will the momentum sustain? In fact, the mid-cap and small-cap also, they have also recovered smartly in today's trading session. They also started on a weaker note, but what a massive recovery we have seen. Do you think the momentum will sustain going forward?
I think if you see yesterday's comeback in the markets, today opening of 100 points and trading above 100 points in Nifty is a great view today. I think the momentum will sustain now if the market is closing above 22,100 levels in the closing basis, because it's a Friday again, and a closing level of 22,000 and above is a great support for the medium term outlook. I think the momentum will continue, and even if you see mid-cap and small-cap, the negative is almost over. The selling pressure, what we have seen last 10-15 days back, almost stocks were down by 25 to 30% in an average basis. So I think the negativity, the stress level in the counter has been discounted right now, and fundamentally good stocks like IRFC and all, these are getting back in action, and investors are buying at these levels. I think the closing about 22,100 will give a good support for next week. Again, next week we have a very small trading session. It's a 3-day trading session and a closing of financial year. So we will be about 22,000 short term.
Okay, absolutely. So that's the word coming in. But now let's focus on IT stocks as well, Prashant, because global IT giant Accenture has revised its revenue forecast downwards, citing sluggish demand in the IT and consulting sectors. Accenture's revised outlook anticipates full year revenue growth to be within the range of 1 to 3%, and that is, if you compare it with the earlier projection, that was of 2 to 5%. And according to a report by JM Financial, financial, Accenture barely cuts guidance. So barring the COVID period, the last time Accenture reduced the lower end of its guidance, that was in the third quarter of FY13. It also said that a likely weak FY24 exit will further pull down FY25 estimates. So let's understand from you, Prashant, now that what's the impact gonna be like going forward, because today these Indian stocks, if we talk about TCS, Wipro, L&T Mindtree, and then we have Infi as well. They are all under serious selling pressure. However, they have recovered a tad bit because they were down around 4 to 5% in the morning trading session. They have recovered from that level. However, they are still in the red. So what's the impact gonna be in the near future?
I think Accenture has really raised a concern on Indian IT industries. Globally, things are better in shape right now. US markets are making all-time high, but suddenly the note of not lowering the guidance is a shock for the whole world in the IT sector. Obviously, Indian markets are going to discount those things, and obviously the growth in Indian industry and the growth in US markets are totally different again. So I think
Yes.
Indian markets, we are getting an opportunity with these concerns to accumulate a lot of fundamentally good stocks. I think a mid-cap IT company can be a good stock to pick from these levels. For me, the concern is high, but yes, the stock has not the sector has not outperformed from last many years. Matlab, almost we can get a good opportunity to add IT stocks at these levels.
Okay, absolutely got that. And what are your thoughts on these mid-cap IT names like KPIT Tech, Persistent? Last time I checked, KPIT was trading in the green. Okay, yeah, KPIT is in the green, and this is despite weakness in the IT sector. So, do you prefer mid-cap IT names over large-cap IT, Prashant?
Yes, I am preferring mid cap and small cap IT companies, preferring to the large cap IT companies because last 15 days, the way how mid cap stocks have been hammered. So I think the mid cap IT companies got already fully discounted whatever the negativity we are expecting from the global slowdown in the IT outsourcing business model. So I think KPIT is a good stock. I think it's trading at 39 and 80 right now. And technically, it looks like downside is very limited from these levels and upside is again limited to 1500 from short term. So I think it's a good pick for mid cap IT company.
Okay. And mid cap and small cap, if you see, Prashant, they have also recovered, and we saw them performing really well in yesterday's trading session and as well. And if we look at the levels at this point in time, Nifty mid cap is up 266 odd points, and small cap is also in the green. 88 points uptick there as well. Of course, there's this selective stock action that is taking place. But what about you? I mean, what are your thoughts on mid cap and small cap space after the recent correction we have seen so far? Any stocks on your radar at these levels?
Yes, again, the surprise was that again 15 days back we got a surprise correction wherein lot of investors have missed to accumulate lot of mid cap and small cap stocks which were up by 100 to 200% in last 1 year. I think the worst is behind us in the mid cap and small cap stocks. The downside is very limited from these levels and specifically PSU small caps, PSU railway, PSU defense. These stocks are a good stocks right now because the order books are good, the margins are improving. The new government will obviously focus on giving a lot of business to PSU as a sector. So I think in that sector one should focus and invest. And rest on the private side again, we need to watch out for the fundamental good stocks and then pick up good mid caps and small caps.
Okay, I think we have to be selective when it comes to the broader market space. But auto stocks, they are also on a roll today, Prashant. We have Maruti Suzuki, the top gainer for you from the auto pack. 3.7% uptick there. We have Hero Moto also. So basically, Motilal Oswal has a buy call on Hero Moto with a target price of 5560, and right now the stock is trading at 4679. So significant upside potential for this particular counter. I want to understand from you any stocks that you like from the auto space, especially at these levels. I mean, some experts do prefer auto ancillary over auto. What are your thoughts?
I think in the auto side, I would be preferring Tata Motors a lot at these levels because we can play EV and CV, all the three segments at one shot. So I think Tata Motors would be a great company to accumulate at these levels. Technically, again, 1050 can be a target for a short-term trader. But for me as an investor, again, 1200 and 1300 rupees would be a target for 6 months to 1 year in Tata Motors. There is already a demerger story which is already announced in that, where PV and EV will be a different companies going forward. Now the weight is only on the valuation side and the ratio which they had already decided. So I think any downside pick in Tata Motors is a great opportunity to buy. Again at these levels as 979, again as a trader 960 is a stop loss, and again 1020 can be a near term target for a trader. So my pick is on Tata Motors on a four-wheeler side. I am very much neutral on the two-wheeler side, Hero Honda or Bajaj. Again, I think the upside are very limited right now. Maybe coming down the line next 6 months again, due to the election fever which is going to start very soon, a lot of two-wheeler segment will also move. But again, a limited upside on the Bajaj Auto and Hero Honda.
So does that mean you prefer four-wheeler over two-wheeler?
I think people are preferring to have a four-wheeler vehicle, so there is a good demand. As you said, Maruti has touched all-time high right now. In Maruti, I think in the CNG segment, it's a great company. It's a market leader. Almost 70% of the segment Maruti controls the CNG vehicles. So in the CNG, if you play a CNG game, again Maruti is the best play. But yes, at this level, that 12,000 above, there is a limited upside for me. So better to go with all three in one. That is CV, PV, and EV. So Tata Motors is the best.
Okay, Tata Motors. Keep an eye out on this particular stock. This stock has actually been performing really well in the past few months, over the past few months. So yes, let's talk about some of the buzzing stocks only. So from the healthcare index, Prashant, let's discuss some of the stocks like Laurus Labs. If we could pull up that stock for our viewers. Apollo Hospitals, Lal Path Labs, Sun Pharma, Cipla. These are some of the stocks that are buzzing in today's trading session. Any stocks from this list that you like at these levels?
I think the first stock which you mentioned, which is Laurus Lab, is a great pick right now. Again, it is already surprised up by 4%. I think downside is very limited from these levels. Today's low can be a stop loss for any trader to buy and accumulate at these levels, and a target of 420, 440 for a short term. Laurus looks great at these level. And second stock would be again Apollo. Apollo again, I like the business model. They are the leaders in their segment again. Upside is limited, but yes, again, but there is a great opportunity to have a target of 7,000 plus in a very short time. It is very short term. I think these two stocks will be a great opportunity for a trader as well as an investor to buy out.
Okay, absolutely. And let's talk about, PSU's basket as well. I think PSU stocks corrected. We saw a big correction happening in the PSU stocks, but they are again back in action. And if you see today only, we have stocks like RVNL, we have stocks like Nalco, we have stocks like BEML, Garden Reach, REC. These are some of the buzzing stocks. Bank of Baroda doing pretty well in today's trading session. We have NHPC, BPCL, all in the green today. Prashant, any pick that you would like to share from the PSU space? Because experts, I think there is a mixed this thing that is happening in the PSU space. Some experts are saying that the valuations are not reasonable at this point in time. Some are saying that it's a good opportunity to buy on dips. What are your thoughts?
So valuation is always a concern, but after a discount of 25 to 30% of the recent rally, there is some kind of comfort level for a trader to buy PSU at these levels. I think I am going with three stocks. One is PFC, one second is RAC, and third is IRFC. So these three stocks are at very comfortable level from these levels. And I think 15-20% momentum can be easily seen on a technical basis for a very short-term view. And the risk of again sell-off would be very less, limited downside at these levels. So I think RAC can make 500 plus very in a very short term. Again, NTPC looks good for me for 400 plus again. Again, IRFC also looks good for me for 15-20% momentum from these levels, because after the good rally and there is a very good correction which was in need of the hour in the mid cap and small cap space, which last 15 days we saw the correction. So I think IRFC would be the first stock which I am going to buy out for these levels, 160 as a target. Again, PFC and RAC I already discussed on that.
Okay, absolutely. IRFC is, by the way, a multi-bagger already. A good amount of returns coming in from this particular counter, especially for all the long-term investors. So, Prashant, let's talk about real estate pack as well. So, Nifty Reality, if you see, that's the top gainer from all the sectors. But if we look at Prestige Estates, if we could pull up that stock for our viewers, the stock is on a roll today, and this is after the company acquired 62.5 acres of land in Indirapuram extension. So, what are your thoughts on this entire pack, and where is this stock headed according to you? Prestige?
I think Prestige is a great company. It is having a lot of presence in Bangalore and South Indian markets. So, technically, I think the stock can do 1250 and 1300 levels in a very shorter period of time. And if you see business updates on month basis, there is a good output on the business updates. They are going almost 20 to 23% growth every month, and they have a lot of projects which are there are already announced. So there is a good 20-25% growth in FY25 earnings also. So that has been discounted, and opportunities that last 15 days back the correction was all around the stocks. So except large cap, mid cap, and small cap, in every sector we saw a lot of correction. So it was a great opportunity for even today. But yes, Prestige would be the great stock. Second, which we are liking is Lodha Developers. We are also they are almost leader in the Mumbai region. So they are also doing great, and I think the same momentum can be seen in Lodha Developer also.
Okay, absolutely got that. And any other stocks that you would like to recommend? Any BTST calls for the next week, Prashant?
I think Tata Motors would be the great BTST call right now. I think it can do a four-figure on Tuesday again with green
Okay.
color in the Holi festival.
Okay, and apart from Tata Motors, any other stock?
Again, second, would like to go with SBI as a stock. So there can be a good momentum from these levels. 15-20 rupees can be a good momentum can be expected next week.
So Tata Motors and SBI, keep an eye out on these two stocks. But talking about this PSU basket only, PSU banking space, I'm talking about, Prashant. You know, we have Central Bank, PSB, IOB as the top gainers for you from today's trading session. In fact, Maharashtra Bank and Bank of Baroda as well, up around 2% as we speak. But apart from SBI, any other stock that you prefer from the PSU banking space?
Yes, again, we like PNB a lot at these levels. Again, a good
Okay.
momentum can be seen at least 145 to 150 levels in a very shorter time of time.
PNB and SBI, right?
Yes.
Okay, and what about IRDA? If we can pull up that stock, I think that stock is up 5% as we speak. And the company said that the board meeting will be held on 28th of March. Yes, 5% uptick there on IRDA, and 138, that's the level. And they will have a board meeting to consider the borrowing program up to 24,200 crore. Now, this stock was on a roller coaster ride, I would say. It touched 200 level, then it came down to now 130, 120. What's really next for this particular counter?
I think the business model is great. The revenue which they are getting it from the renewable energy space. There is a huge lot of opportunity in India right now, and this should be the leader like what how it is when we compare with IRFC in the railway space. So they are the leaders in the renewable energy space. I think it's a great opportunity to buy. For me, a short-term target would be 175 and above. For a long-term investor, again 200 can be a target for more than 1 year holding. So great company to add on at every dip.
Okay, absolutely. We have discussed a lot, many sectors, but coming back to Nifty, 22,098. That's the level on Nifty. Remember the hit that we hit today. The high that we hit today was of 22,180. We have come off from that high, but the low was 21,883. So we have recovered massively from that low. So the good news is that 22,000 level that is intact on Nifty as we speak. Let's see how the action pans are going forward. But it's a truncated week. We are going to have truncated week. So I think bulls are celebrating that in today's trading session. Let's see if the momentum continues or not. But coming back to you, Prashant, again, for some of the other buzzing stocks. And I want to discuss UPL with you because we have auto, we have pharma, but then we have UPL as the top gainers, one of the top gainers in today's trading session. 469, that's the level there. Huge volume, 3% uptick. What's next?
I think on a technical basis, 500 can be a near-term target for that, but it has actually not performed well from last 2 months at least. Even when markets were at all-time high, this stock was like trading low to low every day. I think someone has bought a right pick at the right time. So upside is very limited to 500 rupees, but I don't think anything more than 500 can be seen in this stock. As a trader, above 500, book profits and get out.
So what's the right buy zone for UPL?
I think again, if we get something near 60, 65 between, that is 4 to 5 rupees below this current trading price, it's a great level to add on. But again, stop loss can be 455 levels. A risky bet, but upside limited, downside also limited.
Nika is, by the way, one of the top gainers from the mid-cap space today. What are your thoughts on Nika? I'll come to Paytm also after Nika, but first let's discuss Nika. 163.6, that's the level on this particular counter. What are your
I
thoughts?
think, yeah, I think the upside is very limited. 175 can be a best target, which I can see in the charts, and that would be again overbought zone. But on a fundamental basis, I am very much neutral on the business. I think yes, only because of the selling discount which were available from last 15 days, the stock has really recovered from the low. 175 and can be a good target to book profits. And second, you said we will discuss on the Paytm again. Paytm continues to be a risky call for us. Again, the way how Jio is expanding its business into disturbing a lot of Paytm business model. So I think a conservative investor should avoid Paytm at these levels. And if we get something around 330, 340 levels at any worst case scenario, then only a risky traders can go and bet on Paytm.
Okay, absolutely. By the way, there's the brokerage house that sees Paytm and that expects Paytm to rise above 500 level. But let's see how the action pans out as far as Paytm is concerned. But on that wonderful note, Prashant, thank you so much for taking the time out and being with us here on BT TV.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So coming back to markets, of course, that 22,000 level is still intact as we speak. 22,083, that's the level on Nifty, and 46,843. Of course, Nifty Bank is also in the green, 158 points uptick there. But it's gonna be a long weekend. We have Holi as well. So wishing all of you a very happy Holi in advance and have a great weekend, long weekend I would say. Let's see how the action pans out going forward. But for now, it's time for me and my team to wrap up this edition of Market Today. Lots more coming up for you only on BT TV. Stay tuned and many thanks for watching.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
For technology stocks.